Hello, this is Julian with Juleon Tech Reviews. Join me as I put the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 to the test and decide if it's really living up to the hype. Welcome back. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. They mean a lot to me. So please hit that like and subscribe button. So the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is here, it's been here, and it's been generating a lot of buzz still with this sleek design, impressive specs, and its innovative features. And it's no wonder why people are excited to get their hands on, especially when it first was announced. But what exactly makes this phone like special? And is it really worth all the hype? So we're gonna, answer those questions in this video here, because some of you are probably still apprehensive about it. And you maybe want to get into a foldable phone, but let's just go ahead and talk about this one. So when it comes to foldable smartphones, there are a few challenges that come to mind. One of the biggest concern is durability. Can these phones withstand the wear and tear of daily use? Right? And then another, issue practically, right? Is it convenient to use? Right? So, and then of course the price is ridiculous, but it's getting somewhat better when it comes to tradings, whatever, but that's not the point on this. But essentially that's just kind of like some of the things that people are talking about when it comes to this foldable phone. And then there's the user experience. Like, do these phones like offer seamless, intuitive experiences, or do they still have some kinks to work out? And we'll just kind of like toe the line and just explain a few things here. So, but for me, I've had the chance to put the Fold 6 through, all the tests, and I've been a Fold, person for the last 3 generations. But, I gotta say, it's definitely a unique experience. Going from, candy bar style to the foldable phone is a big giant leap. So on one hand, the phone's folding mechanism, has gotten a lot better and more seamless, and it makes it feel like a really premium device. But on the other hand, there are some concerns about the phone's durability, because even though they've tested this over like thousands of times, and they said that this will, over 500,000, folds, I'm still, not 100% convinced that it can, withstand the rigors of like daily use without some damage. And even though this is like, IP48, I believe, dust and water resistant, but there are still some, sand that could get in here. I've heard stories about it. So that's just some of the concerns, when it comes to having a foldable phone, especially this caliber. So another challenge comes to mind is the user experience, right? So Samsung has made a lot of, significant, if you have the last year's model, I wouldn't say it would be super significant, but they've made some significant strides with, the whole improvements to the, phone's UI. So Samsung has some of the best software when it comes to your foldable and, the candy bar style of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But there are some, quirks and inconsistencies that could be frustrating to deal with, right? So for example, when it comes to, utilizing this big screen, this big 7.6 inch screen, when you go into like Instagram, it's not necessarily holding up when it comes to, your experience. I mean, it doesn't take full real estate advantage of the full real estate of the phone. So you do see the kind of like the black size on, the side here, and it's almost the same aspect ratio of what you're seeing of like a candy bar style phone. So they haven't yet worked out that. I mean, some of the, pictures do work, but it's very inconsistent. And that's consistent when it comes to, Twitter. I mean, as you can see, or excuse me, X. But as you can see, it's once again, black on each side. And then lastly, I'll go into Facebook. Facebook doesn't even allow you to go, another orientation. It just keeps you on this one. And some of it could be, quite, buggy when it comes to, your user experience. So it's just, it's very tough and frustrating to deal with. But also, the flexibility is kind of like, weird. when it comes to, you know, opening and closing this. I mean, you just kind of get nervous every time you open it because this is a $2,000 phone. So how can I, you know, ensure that it won't break? Obviously, you get the insurance to replace it all the time, and Samsung's insurance policy is great if you pay for it, but if you don't, you are down in the deep. So despite all these challenges, I do think this foldable and foldables all over are becoming more and more, you know, the future of this technology. So they offer like way more flexibility and versatility than the traditional smartphone. You know, for example, I mean, I can just, you know, once I have the case that does have a, you know, a stylus to it. I mean, the flexibility of you being able to take notes. And for instance, I have this shortcut here where I have my Bible here and then I have my notes here. So during service, I can actually take, you know, notes properly. And then they do take advantage of, you know, the flex mode here. And you can just kind of like look at YouTube and then pull up another app, and it's just kind of like a desktop experience. And it also comes with a wireless DeX, which is turning this phone into a, you know, computer hub when you get to a monitor. So that is, you know, these phones and these foldables have the potential to revolutionize like all the ways that we interact with phones. And I do believe that Samsung and Google and all the other companies are, you know, coming aboard with this new technology. So this phone in particular is an impressive device, but, you know, with this 7.6-inch screen. And I love the squared edges of this. And, you know, some might not like it, but it makes it real premium. And then it has, you know, an impressive chipset with the Snapdragon 8 generation, you know, generation 3. And it has a nice camera system. It's not quite, you know, on par with the S24 Ultra, but that is the Ultra. So just keep that in mind. And continuing on the design, it is very sleek, modern. The colors are, you know, carefully crafted and studied. So these are very nice colors. They do have a carbon, you know, they're coming up to, you know, date with the carbon fiber version of it, where it's just exposed and things like that. And they're being more and more durable going forward as they keep updating. So more than likely, any type of like, you know, advantage would be on a foldable as opposed to, you know, my non-foldable phone, just because of the flexible screen and then the seamless, you know, just style of this phone. I think it's definitely worth your time to look at. And then one of the most important significant features of the Z Fold 6, in my opinion, is this ability to seamlessly transition between folded and unfolded states. For instance, you know, if I'm in my, you know, Gmail, you know, app here, I mean, I can set it up to where I close it and it goes and it continues on to that same path while transforming into like a traditional candy bar style, you know, phone. So I think that is pretty awesome, and it really stands out if you're in the market, and then it stands out with your friends when you go into the store or you go into, you know, a restaurant. You just, you know, flex and you're like, whoa. I get that reaction still to this day. And then another standout feature, you know, is the AI software. It is, you know, heavily laden in this particular model. It does have, you know, your just AI, you know, pulling anything from the screen and saving it as a picture. Then it has, you know, where you can draw something. If you, I don't know what this is. Maybe it'll, you know, come up with something cool. But the AI just really just takes this phone to the next level. And this is not the full suite of, you know, Gemini or whatnot, but look, you just created a nice little friendly ghost or something like that. So you can just really take advantage of, you know, this AI feature and everything. All right, so I've done enough talking. So what's the verdict, right? So the Z Fold 6, it does live up to the hype. Well, in my opinion, it's a yes and a no. While it's definitely impressive and, you know, the device is impressive and it has innovative features, it is not without its flaws. But overall, I think it's a solid choice for anyone looking for a premium smartphone with a unique twist. And, you know, it's almost like coming up with the, you know, getting on board with the wave. I believe the bugs have been, you know, ironed out with this phone. And I think you should really take a look at it and, you know, at least try it out and just see, like, with everyday use, how you like it compared to your candy bar style. It's almost like you got two candy bar style phones, and then you pop out and you got yourself an iPad or a tablet ready to go. Well, thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on just the Z Fold 6 here in the comments below. If you're interested in checking out more of my, you know, smartphone reviews, I got the Google Pixel Pro Fold, non-Pro Fold coming out pretty soon. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more to come. This is Julian with Juleon Tech Reviews. Peace.